Halo, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, teman-teman semuanya. Kembali lagi dengan dua mata kaki.
All right, I'm gonna get on the Komatsu dozer, go up front and start cutting out the new section of road. I flagged it yesterday. I actually stayed down here last night after undercutting this out. Laid some fabric in here. That's that very heavy duty thick stuff over there. And I had a little bit of the regular fabric left over I put right here, only because that's where the power line trench goes, kind of right through here. And it was a little spongy, so I figured I'd just cut that and lay that in there for what it's worth. Still going to get about 8 inches of stone over top of it, so it should kind of bridge across it and all that. So got a spot for them to start dumping rock. Let's get the old Komatsu fired up and go up front. Bringing the dozer up here, I'm actually surprised at how dry this seems right here. So what I'll probably end up doing is putting another overflow pipe over there to kind of eliminate so much coming through here from the spillway. But I did mark out the road right here, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Komatsu. This is the center line, and start stripping all that grass and pushing it up there so that I can use it for the ditch to fill in over there. Let's get started. Well, that's working pretty good. Got a pretty good pile of topsoil and grass pushed up. I'm down here to about the clay layer. Topsoil's pretty wet, but we have gotten like a lot of rain here lately, so that's to be expected. I'm going to go get the mini excavator, bring it up here. I should have gravel here in about the next 15-20 minutes. That way I can cover that pipe up, then take the skid steer and put all that dirt on top of that to cover that up. Go ahead and tie my road in there, roll a little bit of fabric out. I think I'm good on fabric right through here. We'll probably start right there behind the dozer and run it on down through there, but I'll clean this up with the skid steer, get it down, that last little bit of topsoil off down to the clay before putting stone down. Got my load of gravel. I'm gonna go ahead and put it over top of the pipe here. That way I can go ahead and bring the skid steer up here, start moving all this dirt down. He's gone back to get another load of stone. We'll start working from the other way until I get this tied in to the main driveway here. got load number 1 of stone coming in here. Brought the skid steer down here. I'll go ahead and fill that in, push this off so that they can kind of have a nice turnaround. That is very loud. It's going to take a lot of loads. All right, making good progress here. That little cover pipe that I put in a few weeks ago works pretty good. A little wet right through here, and where I took that tree down up here a couple months ago, pretty spongy, so I undercut that out about 3 foot. I just went down there and got some clay, which is also wet from all the rain we had, so better than it was. I'm going to take the mini excavator, go down there and cut that roll of fabric off. I'm going to actually start right there, and all that's really solid, and start unrolling it down through here, probably all the way past the curve there. I know that one's going to run out, but I have some more. Well, that was load number 6 there for road base stone. Probably gonna need 20 or so altogether. I think he's got time to go back and get another one. I got one more truck coming, and hopefully tomorrow's Saturday, maybe they can, I think the rock quarry's open till 12 o'clock. Maybe I can get a couple trucks to haul a few more loads in here, but a little slow going today, but at least making progress. Well, there's an intersection here now. I had to cut out a lot. Well, that much dirt, and I've probably hauled that much up front, spread it out right here. Plus it was low, so it kind of raised the road up. That's 100 tons of stone right there. And I went about less than 100 feet. This road's getting expensive. I got a lot of stone from there to all the way to the cabin. I think that took 14 loads to go from there to the driveway there, and that probably took another 15 or 16. Yeah, $25,000 in a road to the cabin. But gotta have access. That's one thing that a lot of people forget about when you have a property that's a long ways off the road, is you have to build a good access to it, or you'll just have a nightmare every day you go in and out and it rains. So take the time to build a nice road and it'll be there forever. And that stone right there is about 8 or 10 inches thick, so it should be there forever. All right, well, I have one more truckload coming for up front. I'll get a video after I spread that out, and hopefully I can get some trucks tomorrow to get majority of the stone in here. Well, decent progress for up here. Got 3 loads of stone up here dumped out and spread in place. I'm gonna run down there and get the roller, go ahead and roll that in while it's got some moisture in it. And the main thing I'm happy about is I was able to get all that dirt that I undercut out for the road and got my ditch filled in, so killed 2 birds with 1 stone on that. This is still pretty wet and pumpy. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, maybe dump a couple more bucketfuls of topsoil in there and run the ruckus strike over that, and that should finish that off. So now I won't have a big deep ditch that I have to keep maintaining. I can just run right over it with the lawnmower.